Good morning, everybody, and this is your DAX setups for today. So last week we were dealing with a few health issues, so that's why we weren't around. But yeah, yesterday, no real excuse except the Springboks won, and that was on Sunday night. And if you haven't watched rugby in your life, go find that game from Sunday night, the Springboks versus France World Cup. It was probably the best game of rugby that you will ever see in your life. So yeah, this week's also going to be short. I am off to ride a fairly large cycle race, and that will be Friday and Monday out of action again. But no, nothing really happens on those 2 days. So yeah, that's kind of just some forward planning for you. Right, let's get to this. So big up and big down last week. I think that's the key here. The week before, big up and big down, and then big up and big down. So those are tails, lots of tails. That is bobbed wire, that is confusion. So if you just put a weekly level on the top of that pin bar there, and the bottom of this pin bar, that's kind of a confusion zone. And you can see why we rejected off here last week. And look to the left, you know why we rejected off the bottom here. So these two big weekly levels, that's 14,951 to the downside and 15,563 to the upside, are fairly critical. So oscillators on the weekly, group to the downside, the stub versions, not so much in play, but this one is. So this is kind of the close of last year. And to where we are now, you can see oscillators up there, oscillators down here, but price is higher. So that is a fairly strong bit of diversions there. Okay, so let's just get into what we need to be paying attention to. So firstly, yesterday, nothing really there. This could be seen as a retest of the moving averages here. Although last week we got a retest of the 155 EMA. Right or structure, I mean, that was a short area. Missed it, unfortunately, but I hope some of you got it. Clear as daylight. You've got a big pin bar here, nice, another pin bar here, pretty strong level. That would have been in a downtrend, that would have been a fairly decent area to reject. So when you look at it like this, you can still see there is potential for an inverse head and shoulders here, but the break would have to be at 15,568. And now this is a range for all intents and purposes. So this is 3 weeks in a range. We're in the 4th week, which is in this range. It's a messy range, but nevertheless it is a range. So when you start drilling down through the time frames, if you start looking at the 3 hour, we were looking like a fairly decent sort of rounding bottom, and then we had the sell-off, and that was Thursday and Friday that we had the sell-off, so that was a bit of a chaotic environment. Then we came back into this zone of chaos here. That's where we opened, and we just kind of started off good and then went sideways. So we are waiting for earnings at the moment, so there's quite a number of earnings coming out this week, so that's kind of what the catalyst is going to be to drive us this week. But I'm kind of almost on the fence on the higher time frames here for the DAX, because this kind of price action I definitely don't want to be trading. So above the moving average is fairly decent trend, and then over 2 days that reverses so quickly. And Friday's price action here, that was a fairly decent entry right there below the moving averages. That's where the 155 EMA is. If you were on the 15 minutes waiting for that on Friday, didn't quite get there, but everything on the hour was lining up. That was, as soon as you saw that rejection bar, would have been a jump in. Just keep your stop up there, 100-point stop loss. And some people would still be in on that, but that would have been the close, going into the close down here. So it would have been a one-to-one trade pretty much, but fairly decent. So for today, there is more structure right there. We are flirting with it. If you look to the left, there is the structure. Look at my oscillators. Look at my moving averages. So, yeah, kind of a difficult one to call. I would say this is a fairly decent entry, and then here's another one here. Okay, so firstly, let's just get back to the hour and just get our mindset right. So the oscillators are saying strong move down, flag move down. That's what it's saying. We're below the 155, and that's what's going on here. So this level here, I'm going to ignore, and we're going to put that on the high of today at the moment. Sorry, that is the high of today. This level we're going to keep in place, or this zone we're going to keep in place, because this could be a double bottom. There's a neckline for the double bottom, which is 15,233. So if this holds double bottom in play, and we'll look at it on the 50 minutes. I just want to get the levels in. You're going to have to look at it on the 50 minutes anyway. So that's the double bottom there. And that would be the measured move to the upside. If you look left, there is structure here, but put the other one in as well. So there is more structure there. So that would be the zone that you'd have to look at. That's for double bottom, but then again, this could be a flag as well. But I think this is where I'd want a break and retest of the structure here before even considering a flag. Now bear in mind, we've got those weekly levels in. That would mean a retest somewhere down to 1495 or 1500, and 1500 makes the most sense to me because it has been tested before, and it's right here in amongst this chaos. Okay, right, let's get to the 15 minute. That's kind of the structures we're looking for. So first things first, oscillators in 15 minutes are in the opposite direction to the 1 hour. So 1 hour saying this is a flag, 15 minutes saying no it's not. We're looking for a break to the upside. 15 minute has also got a fairly big sort of rounding bottom kind of structure. So we're looking for fairly decent price action at 15,233. I don't like that setup, to be honest. I think that is going to be a bit risky. So I would rather be waiting for a break of 15,283. So I often talk in the Forex videos about London breakout strategy. Same principle applies here. So that first hour of the DAX cash market opening, which is basically pre-market, that was your range. If you break the upside of that range, then it is long. You break downside, then it is short. So that's kind of the way I would look at this today. I'm reluctant to be short. I don't see too much. This is a very well structured move here. Every time it comes back, then the bulls are in balancing act. But again, it is earnings season, so anything can happen. So for me, I think the sure bet trade is the best way to go. There's a nice juicy gap up here as well. So break of 15,283 retest. First target 15,338, and then second target is 15,364. That's kind of what I'm looking for. And while we're in amongst the moving averages here, I don't really want to be trading this. And moves to the downside, I'm very reluctant to take at the moment, just because we've got such strong potential support on the weekly to the left. So yeah, that's kind of my view for today. It's going to be volatile this week and next week pretty much while the major earnings come out, but that is what it is. And then obviously you've got to keep an eye on what's happening in the Middle East at the moment as well. So yeah, that's kind of my view. I hope it helps, and we'll catch up with you tomorrow morning. Cheers for now.